Let's hope this works. Is the technology going to work for me? Maybe it's having a think. Here we are. Aha, right, cool. Here we go. Right, let's get everything together that I need. So I definitely need the chat. And please use the chat if you are wanting to talk to me, because that's the only way I'm going to see. Right, I am incredibly early. I will say that I did say that I want to start from 5 o'clock. But I might do some of the, being a little early, one, means that the tech is actually going to work, because I've told everybody to get on at 5 o'clock, so a little early doesn't hurt. And also I've got some fiddly bits to do first. So if there's not that many people watching, then at least I've got the fiddly bits done in the meantime. Just going to have a bit of a drink, because I forgot to do that before pressing start stream. Ah, lovely. Not a cider this time. This time last year, when I started the map, which is the map that you're seeing right now, although some of it's been destroyed, but yeah, I was having a lot of cider. I don't know what's going on here. Oh my word, what's going on here? I don't know actually why there are. I was going to show people the original map just as a sort of reminder. I'm logged in, which is fine, but it's missing some content, and I don't know why. So I just saw Yay Games is over there, and it's missing a bunch of tables here, but not all the chairs. And then some of the ones some chairs are missing. I have no idea what's happened there. Maybe they're all the people that are going to say no to me when I ask them to rejoin. No, I hope not. And then there's a whole area over here missing as well, which is really bizarre, but don't ask, no idea. So a little reminder of how this year went, and I think actually the map doesn't really do it justice. For those who were here, you'll be able to, or that were there in August, you'll be able to confirm that it was proper chock-a-block. It was pretty full, and yeah, there's a lot more. There's a lot more I want to do with this space. Now, when I made this map, obviously it was two-dimensional, and the one thing that it's missing is testing. You know, how can I test this with the idea of? I mean, we had 800 people in the end, but we expected sort of 1,000 a day, and that was kind of that was the limit. Sorry, that's what we built towards. So we could have hit 1,000 a day, but anyway, we got to 800, and actually there was still lots of room, there was still lots of space, so we can actually go in this time with our original cap of 1,000 people a day, and know that we'll be. In fact, we could have done 2,000 a day and still had room for you all. There was a lot in one hall, but it was so spread out. It was fine, but there was a few things, and one of my notes you'll see. I've got a few notes on the right hand side of the video, just some notes for me to start working with, and then I'll probably add notes as we go. You'll see 2 main walkways, and that is because I had 4 at this one, and I would have rather have had 2 bigger walkways than 4 smaller walkways. So I don't think I can I draw on this? No, I can't draw on this, but just a note to where the let's see if I can do some arrows, shall we? No, I can't do. Oh no, hang on. Structure, annotation. Here we go. So let's use the north arrow. So just as a reference, my main walkways were here, 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 and here. So again, those who went will kind of get the reference of that. There was a few. In fact, there was a few other issues as well. I don't know why my artist alley or my exhibitor alley, why it wasn't central, why it wasn't dead central. And I'm talking about, in fact, I use these arrows as look, this arrow, this row here. I don't know why I did that. I'm not sure. So one of the things is this is going to be dead centre. Not that it mattered really. People could figure out, like, it was pretty central and people could find out that was the middle bit. But for me on the day, I went halfway and then went, hang on a minute, this doesn't fit. When I measured the actual hall. It's also to note that the hall is actually 2 metres wider than I anticipated. I'm not going to adjust the seating on this. It's just with the RPGs, I might end up putting the DMs into this space because I know there's a little bit of extra room either side. So yeah, anyway. So yeah, my 4 main walkways were here, and here. And they were fine. But then in the evening, this one and this one closed. Because we took off the centre area. And unfortunately, that didn't really work out. So one of the main things is I'm gonna get rid of this one and this one. And when I say 2 main walkways, I'm gonna have one here and one here, and then have it really wide as well, and almost get rid of, well, not get rid of these, but widen these out, and you'll see when I get building. I'm gonna do some. Firstly, is anyone in? I don't know if anyone is in. I'm gonna have a look. I've got one viewer. Hello, one viewer. Please do feel free to say hello in the chat. I know I'm super early, so I don't want to crack on too soon. What have we got? 40 minutes. Yeah, okay. That's enough time for me to do all the fiddly bits. So I have started with a blank canvas. For those watching, you'll see that I'm gonna do this a lot. Where I'm gonna compare the two. So if I want to reference what I did last time on the bits that I liked, I can just kind of quickly reference back to this tab. Just a note as well, on the right hand side, I've just got a couple of table layouts that I could easily copy and paste. For some reason I couldn't get the chair to be centralised, but yeah, basically I've got sort of blank table if I just want a table, exhibitor table in all 4 directions, so I don't have to keep turning them. RPG tables, and in fact I should have some sideways as well, just for, some that way. And then, oh yeah, well anyway, I'll turn those. And then these are like general demo tables, gaming tables. They won't necessarily have to have 6 chairs per, but I've done 6 just so I can reference. All right, that's a demo table, that's an exhibitor table, etc., etc. So yeah, let's get the finicky bits out of the way. So the first thing I do need, which is on the top of my list, and it's the most important, is I need that 2 meter by 2 meter wide void. And again, this is kind of the fiddly bits, as I said about. So let's just see. So just to confirm, right. So that is 70 meters long, so 2 meters by 70 meters. That's an insane amount of space, and that's actually without the foyer area. And those again, I'm going to refer to those who have been, because this time last year none of you have been to the venue. It was, no one could see how truly big the venue was. But yeah, that's 70 meters from front to back, and we're going to fill that. I've got so many ideas. And then, yeah, we can make sure that there's a void the other side as well. Now, I'm going to exclude the bar, because the bar, they needed to be against the wall anyway. And then we've got a 7 meter by 5 meter food space, which is actually, if we look at the food space before, I found it was too wide. And also it wasn't in line with if I was actually going to make this set, if I was going to make Artist Alley central. So I don't think it needed to be as big as it is. So I've just made it slightly smaller but slightly wider. So that way I can fit more in, obviously, on the right hand side. Yeah, I think only at lunchtime was it busy, but I noticed a lot of people got their food and went back to the gaming tables. So I don't think there's an issue there at all. Right, and then we're just going to put in our 2 meter bit here, so all the way across. There we go. So that way we've got that at the front and the back and the side. Right, so that's going to go. So all this means, all this dotted line is area that I cannot build in. I think it's really important because there is lots of fire exits around the outside. lots of them, and rather than measuring them out, just be easier to have, make sure we have that walkway all the way around, so no matter where you are in the building, you can get out in a case of emergency. There was also the big shutter right at the back as well. So that's kind of that main bit done. And I I'm gonna do the same in the foyer area. Although we did leave a lot of the foyer kind of clear. If the venue is 2 meters wider than you planned in this graphic, can't you make for yes, Sam, you are correct. However, it was quite nice having that breathing room. For example, hi Sam, by the way. For example, you notice this is the original plan, and I didn't put enough room between these two. So, because I just hadn't anticipated that they would need more than a metre, and that's on me. Just kind of space blindness when when you actually put it in practice. So what it allowed me to do, because of that extra 2 meters, I actually managed to create a gap. Oh, that's a bad example. But I managed to kind of pull these guys forward and pull these guys forward by about a metre each. So like this. Which is something I'm going to implement this time, so that then that was the extra space that I created last minute. So yes, I could do that, but actually having that extra leeway, I'm going to keep it as I did. As in, like, the same measurements, still do the 2 meter. It also allows for people that bring banners. So I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of people put banners in that space. Should have been walkways, and I did ask people to push them back as much as possible. But that 2 meter is the saving grace. I remember measuring it on the day, and it's meant to be, if I just confirm, so I've got it as 37 meters, and when I measured on the day, it was actually 39. Is what it is. I just went by the website. Now I think they were counting. So I think they were just counting the floor. I know that sounds weird, but round the outside, sort of where this grey area is, was almost a dip, which was enough to put the banners and stuff in. So yeah, I'll keep it as it is. If I desperately need more room, but I don't think so. In the case of this, and just for fire safety, etc. Anyway, hi Sam, thanks for joining, buddy. I know it is a little bit earlier than I wanted to. As I said, it gives me. I remember last time when I was meant to do a stream, I was meant to do it on YouTube, and then YouTube decided that it wasn't going to allow me anymore. So paranoia got the best of me, and I thought if I get on early, then I can't go wrong. There was also, which I didn't anticipate, a lot of chairs in the foyer area. You guys may or may not have noticed that. So long, I didn't anticipate anything in the foyer. There wasn't when I visited, but there was loads of little sofas and such, which I'm going to kind of bear in mind for this one. Right, okay, so there's my outsides. So yeah, talking of the middle, so I think the 2 main walkways kind of coincides with I need to give the exhibitors a lot more room. So let me just copy and paste this quickly. I need to find dead center. 1 second. Let me what is it? 37. What's half of the oh, my brain. I need a calculator. 1 second. 3,700. Right. 50. Bear with. Right. Hopefully that. Of course it wouldn't. Right. Let me just find where true center is. That'll be nice. So then I can fit a 2 meter either side. Right, this is just markings, so ignore me. Right, okay. So as I mentioned when I first came on the video, I have no idea why Artist Alley was not dead center. I think I built the left-hand side first. I think that's what had happened. Then I put in Hachette Games and in line with the bar, and I think. Yeah, it was just something I overlooked, which was weird. Thank you very much for the maths there. Are you planning to use the other building again in 26? No. Well, no. That's an interesting question. So the capacity that we'd gone for, we went for 1,000 a day. We said, right, because this place holds 2,000, but we would rather have 1,000 seated comfortably than 2,000 people seated uncomfortably. So we went with 1,000. We only got 1,000 chairs. Not all of it was used. I think it's safe to say that a lot of the time, a lot of the space wasn't used. The pavilion was meant to be a breakout space, but I think again we learned on the job. We learned very quickly that the hall wasn't that loud. Having the underneath, by the way, on top of the tennis centre, the flooring that you walked on was 3 layers of carpet. That soaked in a lot of sound, which was brilliant. So it meant that any space you were at in that hall, you didn't have that echo. It wasn't that loud. And because I'd spread everything out, even though it doesn't look like it on the map, but every one of those gaps was 2 metre gaps. So everything was kind of spread out, and in some areas spread out even more. So if we get to 1,000 this time, 1,000 a day, which we weren't far off. We did 800. So heat, and I'm going to get onto heat as well. So don't worry. Well, actually, no. I'll just tell you now. We have asked them to either they're either sorting the extraction things that are meant to work, or we're gonna hire in some. You can get units that are used to cool down a space. But we have fed that back to the venue and said that not being able to cool down the venue was kind of a massive factor. We couldn't, I can't do anything about it being August, right? That's just a factor that I cannot adjust summer. I wish I could. However, yes, we can kind of look at it and go, yeah, it got a little bit too hot. And there was apart from opening the doors, that didn't help. So, I'm hoping that it's not going to be as hot that day, but middle of August, who knows? I mean, to be fair, I suffer with the heat, and I felt okay considering I was walking around. It was a little uncomfortable, but I wouldn't say it was unbearable either. It just was hot, but I must say I was sweating a lot less than I normally would. So, but yeah, it's something that we've asked the venue. Look, can we have some way that the place can be called? And I think they've agreed. Well, they must have agreed because Dave's booked it. So, as in he's booked the hall. Right, I'm just going to bring this right down, just as a measure for the entire hall. I'm going to move that right down. It was okay on the Saturday. That's it. I think that was the issue as well. Yeah, Saturday we were lucky with a bit of a breeze, but Sunday, yeah. And then ironically, there was less people in there on Sunday. Sorry. Anyway, going back to the pavilion. So if we get 1,000 a day and we see tickets, do so. Or you said 5. Yeah, I did say 5. If we get to 1,000 a day and we need more space, I might look at over there. We might even look at over there as an option for the shows. So, for example, it'll be a nice place to have the quiz, actually, in hindsight, because as much as the bar was okay, it was the place where we did the quiz wasn't a great shape. So that's something we're looking at, is about the quiz on the Friday night on the space. I am. I'm thinking of putting like the improvised role play shows, maybe some talks in there if we need it. Hi Fru, Fru. I was very paranoid because last time I did a YouTube stream, it didn't work. And for what it's worth, I haven't even started, by the way. So I'm just chatting to Sam pretty much. I'm just doing some lines. Don't worry. I'm just doing all the boring bits for now. I haven't added any tables or anything yet, so don't worry. I'll still be Pavilion would be good for events and social production. Yeah, so maybe I could have things like, maybe Blood and the Clock Tower and go over there, but things like that. But it's not necessary to start with. It's something that maybe we can add on, but we would definitely need to see. We need to see that thousand people a day scope before we can do anything. If suddenly. If in a couple of months when we release tickets and it's like, wow, 500 people have booked straight away, we're instantly going to look at other space. I've advertised. Thank you, Fru. Appreciate that. As I said, I haven't started just yet, but no, I was paranoid that YouTube was not going to work for me like it did last time. So I just wanted to make sure everything was up and running and I could do me chat. I've added some notes there, as you can see. Do you know what? Financial wasn't the factor. We paid for it on the Saturday in the end. It was more the fact it wasn't used. I truly thought, this is hand on heart, I thought I was going to find 100 to 200 people in that pavilion. I really thought that was going to be a space that people would go, yeah, I'm done now, but go over there, No, in fact, I anticipated some people just rocking up and not even turning up in the main hall because we had the pavilion. So when the pavilion had, I think it was like 8 people on the Saturday, and then obviously we didn't book it for the Sunday, but that was all day, and you just think, okay, well, why aren't people using it? And it was because people said they didn't feel they needed it. So yeah. Webcam, audio, and picture all good. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thanks, Fru, for the update. So yeah, I have got a little note. I've got a little notepad here. Also for any chat notes that I get to. I can. Do you know what? I can knock off the first one. The first one was make sure I've got my 2 meter perimeter, which I've done. That's a bit of a boring bit. More room between exhibitors. That's something that's going to tie in with the 2 main walkways. As I said, going back to the original one, these guys did not have enough room, so spreading them out a little bit would be really nice. So they had a what did they have? They had a, hang on a minute, let me find out their space. They had 183, but okay, so they had 2 by 2 ish. Let's say they had 2 by 2, and in fact I think that's probably a better way to kind of mark them in. So originally, yeah, so they had 122, so including the table, they then only had hang on, maths. Yeah, they had about half a meter behind them, which was not enough. So I want to make sure that with a table, so this is why I've got these. Here we go, let's get an exhibitor in. I want to make sure that they've got enough space behind them. Yeah, there we go. So that works out sort of Artist Alley having a 4 meter bit, but then they've got a little bit more space behind, and then it's the same for this side as well. And it also means that if they want to bring a few shelving units, they've got a little bit more room behind them. So that was the first thing I was going to do, centralising it and then giving them more space in between, and then updating their space. They had 6 foot by 4 foot. I think it's safe to say they can have 6 foot by 6 foot. Again, because they'll have a little bit more table space behind them. For what it's worth, this is going to go all the way, pretty much up until I hit the. Oh, hang on. Sorry, Dinky, I've just shrunk your... it's going to go longer than this, probably up towards where the Commander Zone ends, about that, because I still want a lot of this space at the back. Board Game Library and Bring and Buy is pretty much going to be in the same space. Hang on a minute, why can't I... Hang on, I should be able to... Yes, I can copy and paste between... Yay, there we go. I'm also not... I'm not giving these as much space as well. Weirdly, the Board Game Library was hardly used. I gave it a massive space, and it wasn't really used at all, which is fine. And Bring and Buy just needed more shelves and stuff, which is fine. Cool. Right, where are we? Frudel stole my #1 crown. What? Oh. Oh yeah, how did that happen? Wait a minute. Number 1, number 2. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just being completely distracted by the chat here. Through went from number 1 to number 2. How was that? How was that possible? About what was the library and what was the bring and buy? I mean, you only had to look at the well. Hang on. Right, I've got 2 things about that. Firstly, there was a sign on each one. Literally the sign said library. 2, there was a member of staff on each one, as in someone that was watching both spaces. And 3, one of them had price labels all over them and the other one didn't. I mean, fair, but I'm not going to separate them because people are just silly if they got confused. They are. I kind of see what you mean because of the way they were laid out, but maybe a gap between them would have been, people be people. I don't understand how they could get confused, but that's fine. As I said, it had I not put 2 big signs on each one, and then one is just games and the other one has got lots of prices on it. But yeah, I agree that because of the layout, it might be actually. Let me copy and paste a load of tables. So I think maybe one thing I would like to do, and it obviously it depended on tables anyway because I didn't have that many spare. I think last time I had what was it, 2, and you guys have got to bear with me as I'm building. Because it's going to be a lot of copy and pasting and turning things around. So I think this was the shape I had last time. Pretty sure I had 2, 2, and 2, and then we just echoed that with the bring and buy. There was meant to be more of a gap, to be fair, but I think I think what it was is I gave the improvised roleplay show a little bit more space. On the other side, I can't remember what. Oh no, because there was a big gap down the middle as well. Why did we have a big gap down the middle? Oh yeah, because the big door at the back. But anyway, I think I did U shape and U shape. So maybe that could be it self-contained as it was. In fact, let's put that there, and then no, hang on. Let me put these together. Done, and then. Maybe the bring and buy just needs to be a bit like this, maybe. And then with the idea of having, let's see if I've got the. Hang on. Sorry, on the right hand side it gives me lots of options. You can't see that. Let's have a look at living. No, what I'm looking for is shelving. Bedroom. No. Bathroom, office. No. What's it? Do people not have a outdoor kitchen, living, general? Oh, here we go. There's nothing really to sort of signify shelving unit, so that's annoying. Well, this is apparently what they class as a shelf. Which, no, I don't like that. Hang on. Let's see. Is this rounded? No, that's the same thing. It looked different on the... Okay, so having the board game library as it were, but then having a few shelves. So shelves one end, a few tables down the middle, kind of like this, where you can kind of walk up and down each one, and then these, maybe the other side as well, just to enclose it with shelves, would be quite good. I do want to revise the bring and buy. I must admit, there's lots of different ways that people run bring and buys, and our one is very much a put things there and then wait for someone to call, and just having a volunteer that kind of overlooks the area. Unless you start charging for people, because there are systems where you can scan in, a bit like Expo uses and Aircon uses. If we were looking at tens of thousands of people, no brainer, yes, we'd be doing it. But with 1,000 people, is it utilised that much? yes, people do use it, but it's not to the point where it needs a scan in, scan out system. And then even if we did that, we'd have to look at getting software, and no, it's a whole nother game. It's you almost want you need someone to run it separately, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, maybe something like that, just so it kind of differentiates. And actually we can look at getting some banners as well, because last time the budget kind of started to run low. So rather than a little sign, just actually if we get one of the roller banners that says board game library, and then the other one bring and buy. I kind of want to do that for some of the other zones anyway. So yeah, I think we hadn't, looking back at the old map, I hadn't actually decided how the things were going to go anyway. No respect for people's schedule. Well, I wanted to start. I said I wanted to make sure I was on. If you guys want to come back for 5 o'clock, so I say I haven't started. I have kind of. I'm doing the nitty gritty bits. I haven't added all the cool stuff yet. All right, I'll have a drink. That will buy a minute or two. Oh, actually, I've just noticed something under general. It suggests that this is a coat hanger. Now, I know Dinky Drawings had one of those. So if this is suggesting the size of a coat hanger, will it fit? Hang on. Sorry, I want to see if it fits in. Yeah, look. Right, so this is saying this is the size of a general coat hanger, row, whatever you call it, thing. I don't know. Dinky Drawings had one at the end of her stall. She kind of had it off to the side. She kind of put it to the side of her like that. Whereas having it, yeah, kind of like you could have, again, a shelving unit behind you. It looks like you could fit kind of two in a 2x2 space, which is quite cool. Sorry, I'm just seeing what other. Oh look, if we want to put plants around the show, there you go. I can put plants out. No, I'm not about to do that. Right, rail. Thank you. That is actually the word. A coat rail. That's what I was looking for. I love you too, Dan. Thanks, man. You made my day, by the way, saying that you could come to MCM. That made me happy. Right. Oh, come on, 5 o'clock. Is it really only 10:02? Oh, this is ridiculous. Oh, hang on. I've just realised this has got to come all the way out. I also did not anticipate last time that there was going to be an actual ramp. So in this space here, you can see there's a grey line. I can't put anything over or across that because it didn't fit. There was definitely a incline, which was a bit of a pain in the backside. Yeah, so there's a few zones that I want to recreate. There's some that need revising, or some need reducing in size. You know, there was definitely way too many seats in this zone. That could definitely be brought down. Open play zone, I want to do something slightly different, and I'm gonna put a note here for. Oh no, I can't even type apparently. A club zone. It kind of naturally happened anyway. I don't know if you were there both days, you may have noticed that there were a few clubs that started taking over the open play zone, which was absolutely fine because 2 of the clubs we had agreed that could happen. But it was nice that each row ended up being a different gaming club, and that kind of got alarm bells ringing in my head. There are many a group around Kent that need the exposure. That maybe want new members to their gaming clubs. Some people, for example, I had a conversation with somebody that lived in, I think they lived in Ashford, and said they had no clubs or shops near them. which, as a lot of you in the gaming world will know, that Kent has an abundance of clubs and shops. So it kind of made me think maybe we need, for example, the Dill Club, and then the Thanet Club. There's a Whitstable Club. There's the Game in the System Club. I think I saw two people in the there was two people in the Pokemon Zone. There was a Pokemon Cup on the Saturday, and then it wasn't utilised on the Sunday. And I agree, it was rubbish. Demo gaming space would be cool. Dill War Game Society always does a cool. Right, with war, I'm not including war games. And I had this conversation actually with someone from another wargaming club, and they agreed with me, and I'm glad they agreed with me because it was kind of a delicate thing. The wargaming clubs are great, but my experience of wargamers at shows is they set up a massive table because they need naturally a bigger space, and it's not participation. They'll two people would take up, two 12-foots or two 6-footers together, and they look amazing. Don't get me wrong, like war games on the tables look absolutely incredible, but in my experience, you go around and go, oh, that looks really cool, can I join in? No. It's just showcase games. It's not. It kind of goes against what we're trying to do with CGC. I want everything inclusive. I want everything. I want someone to walk past Blund the Clock Tower and go, "Can I join in?" Yes, we've got a session that we can jump you in. I want to give that a go. Yes, we do what we can. With war games on show when they're playing them, they're just playing them because they've got the space to play them. It isn't really a come and join me for a war game, and also they take hours, if not the whole day. So, plus, if you want something like that, you should go to Broadside. Broadside is an absolutely fantastic gaming show for war games that already exists in Kent. So I'm not really talking about war games at this point. DWS used to do a participation game based on the pod racing. Ooh. Okay, well, I mean, if there was participation stuff, but then we've also got to look at size, because they generally take up quite a lot of room, and I've got a lot more, as you can see on my list there. There's quite a lot that I want to add. That's I want to add all this and all that. So yeah, we'll see. It's not a no. I just know that it's very niche. It's not really come and play. It's not come and get involved. It's very different to kind of what we're trying to do really. So I'm going to put some tables in here. What was this about? Honestly, Dazz, no respect. No, hang on. Where is it? There needs to be room for a 100-foot Dicey Dragon. So Dicey Dragon games is just going to be what, this row here? Yeah. They do take up more room. Yeah, it's just the nature of their games, but a good war game will need two of these, 100%. They'll need two of those together, and they generally only take up two people, which again is fine. But I think you'd almost need a show dedicated to that. I think I had two. So actually, to put it into perspective, I had 270 tables. This layout was 270 tables. That's only 130. No, sorry. That's only 540 gamers if we were talking about war games. Whereas the 270 was, I averaged 4 people per table kind of thing. So, in fact, no, hang on, no, sorry, no, I'm wrong. 270 tables in half 135, which it's almost the table per person. Yeah, it just is what it is. And also it's not our expertise either. But yeah, I mean, if a war game club kind of wanted a table with a banner to say we exist, then I can have that conversation. Depends on how much room I've got. The other thing I want to do, so you'll see for the exhibitors here, spread them this way. And we did this meter gap here, which was fine. However, if you were someone like, let's take Dead Bunny for example. Dead Bunny was very much squidged in. It wasn't a problem. You know, Tabletop Curiosities were on one corner, and then the rest of it was chaos. Escape on one side, Tabletop the other. They were okay on the corners, but these guys very much were squidged in. So what I want to do is kind of do just a meter. It's just a small gap so they can get in and out. Where's my other stuff gone? Hang on, structure, void. Just a 1 meter gap. Oh, wrong way. Okay, let me turn that. Just something like this, so that these guys can then get in and out before I then get to the next one. Now, it will cause a bit of a... get off. No, I don't want to... What is going on? Sorry, malfunction. Right, so done. And then, there we go. So then, the idea would be, if you've got 2 tables, which I think is enough for most exhibitors, they've got 2 tables, fine. If they've only got 1 table, you've got a walkway without disturbing the other people, which I think was one of the issues that some of the exhibitors had. So by doing this, you know, by having that meter gap in between, which I did do, but it just wasn't frequent enough for those in the middle. So I'm trying to give them a little bit more comfort, because it is a long day. I'll give them that. It is a long day when you're working. So something like that. So it's going to dot along, and they can have. It means that actually some of the exhibitors can play around with their space. If they go for a double slot, they've got a little bit more space to play around with. And still space behind to not nudge. Oh, hang on. So evening all, few more people than last year watching, Darius. Yep, they anticipated it. Evening Jay. Is there a Jay? Did Jay join? Oh yes, agitated. Oh, there we go. Hey, sorry. Fruidles and Sam were messaging so much that poor old Jay, I missed his comment. Sorry, dude, I did not see you in there. No, you haven't missed much. I know I'm early. I just, as I said to the others, super paranoid that YouTube wasn't going to work like it did last time. And all I've done is a few boring measurements. That's all. Highlights, what have you missed? Highlights was the realisation last year that I did not centralise my artist alley. As you can see, it was off to one side. Overlooked that until I started measuring for the middle point of the show itself. Splitting up our people, so they've got a little bit more room behind them. So this is actually a 2 metre space. We'll sell the space as 2 metre by 2 metre. So you've got a little bit more room, and then dividing it up. So no, you haven't missed a lot. I've just kind of added there. I have got some notes on the right hand side, so a few bits that I want to do, just notes that I need to get in case I forget them. And then I've got some chat notes there, so if you guys suggest anything that I'm like, oh yes, I must not forget that, or any suggestions, you know, I mean, you guys are going to probably have 1,000,001 suggestions, which is amazing, and I'm happy to hear all of them, but realistic ones would be great. As real as we can get, so bear with, because I'm just, as I said, I'm going to do this boring measurement thing. There's a lot of people that want these spaces already. I've spoken to a lot of people and said not until December. Everybody that was there last year will get invited first. So all the exhibitors that were there, as a thank you to them, they get kind of first refusal. Wow, we could get a lot of people in this way. Let me just turn this round. I hope everyone is all right whilst I do this poxy measuring stuff. So you'll see a note there that it says 2 main walkways. So I'll get to this when I'm thinking. Last time I had 4 main walkways. There was one here, there was one here, and then there was one just here, I'm moving the arrow, and one here. So we had kind of 4 walkways, right, as the main thing. Now I kind of want to get rid of this and just have 2 main walkways and have them, if I can, if this is going to do, yes, it did the right way, and have them 4 meters from front to back, right? Obviously it's going to kind of, it is still going to end about halfway, because I still want the retro zone, and there's some other bits that I do want to do. But the reason for this, is that 4 meters and 4 meters? Perfect, right. The reason for that is these 2 massive walkways, you can either walk down and see every single exhibitor. I think some of the, this was the main walkway before, if I put the arrow. Now, a lot of people walk down here, and if you are people like Tabletop Rescue, Dead Bunny, Enchanted Needle, people then put banners up. Like, with all respects, a lot of these games designers put banners here, and then it created, people couldn't see. People couldn't see these people in the middle. You'd see kind of Emily, Dinky, Mystery round that way. Some people ventured down the secondary bits, but by creating just 2 main walkways there and there, and then having all your games designers off to the left and right, that mitigates any people can't get lost. It also means that the tabletop guys can have their banners all around the outside, rather than in the middle of walkways and things like that. So a lot of things I've learned. So 2 main walkways, boom, there we go. That's done. Hang on. That's where I want them. 4 meters. More room between exhibitors. Done. Lovely. We're going to have a little bit of a crossover. Because we were talking to Hachette Games, who ended up being quite far back. They were not near the front at all, and they were actually one of our main supporters. You know, they gave us 3 exclusive new releases, but I think they were just maybe a bit too far back considering how much support they gave. So let me recopy their names. This is going to be like the first announcement as well, actually, because we haven't spoken about this. So an announcement is going to come. 1 second. What I want to do first is lay out their space. So they're going to have a good few amount of tables, like they did last time. They had 15 last time. I think this time we'll give them probably about 9, and you'll see why in a minute. This is very rough to start with, and we'll measure it all up properly in a minute. But Hachette Games are kind of going to have, you know, one of the first spots as you come in. And yes, I know this is where Pathfinder was. Don't worry, I've also decided that RPGs are going to go over this side because it's closer to the bar and the food, and these guys respectfully drunk a lot more because they were there longer. So there's thinking there. And then the announcement is, if I can measure this properly, let me move these out of the way a sec. There's going to be, so this is going to be Hachette, right? But there is going to be somebody very special just here who, they're probably going to go 2 tables. We'll have that conversation, but I'm sure they're going to go 2 tables because they did last time. So they'll stick out sort of to here as their selling table. Again, they'll have a bit of the walkway. They'll be seen as soon as you come in. And here is going to be the lovely. Now, this is Board at Home. Board at Home are going to go here, and they are going to amalgamate themselves as part of the Hachette Zone. So these guys, there you go, first announcement of 2026. I can confirm that Hachette and Board at Home are going to officially actually work together. Because, you know, they Board at Home sold a lot of their games that were new. They did the Roll to Win, which again, Roll and Pay, which was organised by Hachette Games. A lot of stuff that Hachette gave us was tied into Board at Home. So this time we're like, yep, we are just going to do that crossover, and that those 2 can work together. It also means that rather than, because Board at Home had their own demo table, so Board at Home had their own demo space just here, and then Hachette were down here, and it didn't make sense. You know, they weren't miles away, but Board at Home could have just, imagine this is their shop. They've set up shop, they've got some demo space, and it kind of, it's Board at Home, sponsored by Hachette. Will it be one hall? Yes, to start with. I was talking to Sam earlier on in the stream that we anticipated 1,000 a day, and with all respects, we had 800 over the weekend. I think it was 680 on Saturday, and it was something like 500 and odd on the Sunday. We could have done more, more than that. There was a lot of space all the time. Even at the busy periods on Saturday, there was lots of space, and we're only going to put more space and tables in. So I personally think that one hall is fine. If we suddenly see an uptick, and I really hope so, because the tickets are set to 1,000 a day. If we see an uptick and suddenly 1,000 tickets are gone, we can look at other space. We have that option. We could use the pavilion, but no one used it last time. But again, that's because there was so much space in the hall. But it's something we can look at if we want extra space. If we did branch out, it would probably be as far as that. We would possibly advertise, because there was the bar that if you guys came to the quiz, you'll remember there was a bar area. So we could possibly use that for some open gaming. But again, there was so much to do in the hall that I don't think the open gaming was needed. I think this one hall is fine, and that's kind of why we started with it. If we suddenly would, let's say, for example, 1,000 tickets goes and, we've put it up, and then another 1,000 goes, oh, hell, we'll look at doing the sports hall, and, but I think this would definitely be, the main hall all the time. It's a fantastic hall, it's a fantastic space, it's got everything we need, but, let's see what I don't know what the next couple of months are going to be like. In the next couple of months, it could be suddenly there's thousands of people that want to come to Canterbury Gaming Convention, and I would agree with them. We should all go. But yeah, it's one hall's fine. One hall is fine for now, but we'll see what the ticket sales does between now and August. Right. Also, I think we confused people with the pavilion as well. So people trying to look for this other hall, and then on the Sunday, because we didn't book it on the Sunday, in the end we asked for a refund because we didn't need it, and they agreed, which was lovely of them. But yeah, I think then people were like, "Where's the pavilion?" We decided not to use it, and I think we really need to kind of see more ticket sales before we need it, I think. Right, I'm just kind of extending that up a little bit. So eventually I'll get rid of all these horrible dotted lines. In fact, I could probably get rid of the outskirt. No, I'll get rid of the outside one soon, and once I've got more measured in. Right, so Hachette and Board at Home, as I said, they're going to work together. Amount of space, again, will depend on, if they suddenly give us a few more releases, they could extend, but I think they had 15 last time, that they had quite a bit of space, and that was a lot of space for them. So I think going down to 8 is a bit more manageable, and it means we got room for other people. So let's put my 2 meter gap in there. Right, there we go. So that's their zone kind of done. That was nice and easy. Right, well, what have we got else on my list? So retro zone. So this is something that I need to have a conversation with first, with somebody. The retro games we were actually happy with. It's going to go in the same space, but it might look a little different. I needed to speak to the person online. And Forge and Filigree behind them. Well, This is a conversation that me and Ben will have to have, because you might not get a wall this time. Could be a little bit tricky in terms of a wall. So if you want you probably want a corner. Maybe. we'll see. I mean, actually, Ben, whilst you're here, since you are joining, the best space would probably be where we had, where we had the streamers, but I can't give you the. Remind me how big you need. Because if I remember rightly, didn't you say you need something like 6 or something? I'm just going to wait for him to respond whilst I'm on this, because 6 meters by 6 meters kind of puts you in doorways, and I really kind of want the Queen's hand back. They were phenomenal. Set up some gazebos. Well, there you go. Set up some gazebos and have an alfresco blacksmith experience. I mean, there was space outside, but then it's weather dependent. Is that what, 3 meters? Oh, okay. 3 meters by 3 meters might actually be doable. Hang on. That could easily go where the. That could go where the streamers went, actually. Because the streamers next time, if we have flesh and blood, and that's something we're going to have I'm going to leave a few spaces down here. If we have flesh and blood back, we're going to make sure they're set up there, because the only reason why the streamers were here is so they could plug into the Wi-Fi. Then they got declined due to it's not on them. Just the university went up a level of security for political reasons, so they couldn't plug in anyway, but the Wi-Fi was so good that they streamed anyway, so the streamers can actually go up with them. So I tell you what, let's get Forge and Filigree, let's get you here already, because I know there's space there. Streamers were water fountain and toilets adjacent streams of water naturally. That's true. 3 by 6 would be better though, as I can get more through. Yeah. So if we're talking a 6 meter one, if we're talking a bigger space like that, then that's kind of gonna have to go into the. Could we fit there? Could we fit you that side, and maybe I put the Star Wars guys this side? That could work. I'm going to do it. I'm going to allow it. So 3 meters by 6 meters, near the bar, near the food, and for what it's worth, Ben in the chat there is Forge and Filigree, which is a blacksmith experience. It looked incredible. If we can keep you in this space, just here. Let's get you, because I think your setup looked incredible as well. You just did CGC for us at the show and at the museum. It was bloody amazing. Here we go. There we go. Let's do that. Now I am going to state as well, for any exhibitors that are in the chat, obviously we haven't sent out prices and stuff like that, so I am going to change some text colour. I'm just going to put it as purple. Purple is just, for me, colour coding is just going to be a case of yet to confirm. Okay. Hello. Just so that I don't have so just so I don't have some issues. Same with Hachette. I mean, Hachette have confirmed, but what I mean is actually have that on paper signed. That is definite. So just because I'm putting you in purple is just my notes really. And then I would love to have. I keep going to there. The Queen's hand. They only needed 1 table, but they can have the other space. They only needed 3 by 3, so that actually makes that kind of easy. Because then these guys can go over here. If they'll come back. I hope they'll come back. Right, the Queen's hand. There it is. Right, cool. Apparently I can't type today, so there we go. So we'll have the Star Wars guys that were here. If we put Forge and Filigree, because I know there was more room on that wall than there was here, because there was a water fountain here, and then the toilets here, whereas this was water fountain was somewhere around here, but the other side of the door. If it becomes a problem, we could extend this way and kind of turn you and kind of give you a bit of a corner, but the setup will be even better for this one. Nice. Isn't that the fire passage? No, the fire passage is this one, and this one. So they're the main ones because there's fire doors along there. These 2 meter ones are just so people can get to the toilets and stuff. So you can kind of ignore those two. No, where did their names go? Oh no, I deleted their names whilst getting rid of those. That's not good. Hang on, let me get rid of those. No, Forge and Filigree still didn't want to go away. Right, there we go. There we go. This is probably why I should do this in private rather than on stream, but I think it's helpful. Yeah, we'll make that work. There's actually a lot of room here. I don't know. I will speak to Arcadia because obviously Arcadia Games Table had this zone here. With all respects to them, it wasn't ideal. So I think if they are going to come, they're going to have some of the space on one of the sides. So for what it's worth, I'm going to because they couldn't go along one side, so they're going to move into the hall, and then it also means that with our Dyson Destiny stall, because respectfully we took over a lot of space, I definitely want a check-in before you get to the stall. So we kind of want a bit more of an obvious check-in space, and then kind of Dice have a part of that, as it were, but have them a bit thinner, so there's a bit more room. Because that's what I wanted last time. I did actually want a lot more room. It's just Arcadia came in quite late, and then I put them in the foyer. And realistically, maybe I should have had a few demo. Dice could have had some demo tables as well, and I think some sofas and stuff, some chill space. I know we did have that anyway. We had some comfortable seats around the edges, but we could have actually utilised those for a few little meeting spots and chill out zones and stuff like that. So yeah, that's definitely front desk, and then kind of have Dice going that way, so that it kind of keeps in with the. Imagine if the 4 meter carried on. If the 4 meter carried on, then neither Forge nor Queen's Hand would be in the way, and then it means that Dice can set up down the middle, which would be quite nice. Right, I'll get to the Dice stall later. We'll be there, but in fact we could be white because we're confirmed. I can ask myself, am I going to be there? Yes, I'm going to be there. Dice and Destiny, yes, we'll be there, which is nice. And then I also spoke to the Loyal Rose Tavern. Loyal Rose Tavern would like to go. I know they. Oh, blimey! What's wrong with me? Need it on a different line. I know they would like the front, and to be fair, they did book pretty early last. Well, they were the first to book for the one in Birchington, so I'm going to put them up this end as one of these 2 tables. I know they want to go 2 tables, so we'll see how much space they're actually going to take. Right, then we need Mystery Dice Goblin. So Mystery Dice Goblin have confirmed that they would like to come. And we're going to have another crossover as well, which is really exciting. So, let's have them near the food area. So they would like. We are going to go 2 tables, and I'm going to see if we can get one a bit of a corner. 1 second. Let's see if they fit on a corner, which they should do. So this, as I said, Mystery Dice Goblin. Wonderful guys. Obviously, yeah, they could kind of go on a corner space, which is naturally what a lot of their space does. I've seen them at other shows, but then we want to have, let's put 2 of these together, just behind them. And again, this is going to be our awesome crossover. Near the food area, I think, is also very important. So let's fit that in there. Now, it's up to them how they move this and how they have chairs. Stop it. There we go. So if I do that, then imagine there's some chairs around that. I mean, they probably won't have that chair. You know, right? There's a chair there for the special guest, and then 1 chair there. Right. This is. Let me copy and paste. So as I said, Mystery Dice Goblin. Mystery Goblin with. They can go there. And again, combined, the wonderful Sophie Power. So Sophie was absolutely incredible at in Birchington, because obviously, I mean, well, in fact, no, sorry, Sophie was incredible in August as well. Dressed up as Zard on the Saturday and run some Dungeons and Dragons. And then on the Sunday, I don't know if it was a cosplay or just some casual dress up, but definitely smart anyway. But then, yeah, she teamed up last minute with Mystery Dice Goblin to do some sessions, and this year we'd love to make that more official and actually have the Sophie Power table as part of the Mystery Dice Goblin zone. I am hoping that they're going to give her all the love and support that they did at this show. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of people, as you can tell, a lot of people networked at the last show and are kind of naturally coming together and working together and adding there. So I don't know if Sophie's in the chat or can be tagged, but if she take the space, which I'm sure she'd love to, we'll have Sophie working with Mystery Dice Goblin, who will have the front space there. Two announcements already. Come on, we're already really far off. So here we go. Let's mark that in. That means the food area can be a little bit. I mean, having the food in the bar and that near the dice cellar is absolutely fine. Yeah. Right. What else have I got on my list there? So yes, one of the big zones I'd love to add. I haven't decided where to put it yet. I feel like I want a bigger family zone, bit like what we had last time. If we revert back to the last one, we ended up with this. It did say family zone. I don't know where it's gone. Crazily Creations was part of it. We had some giant games in the middle as well. We had some tables around the outside. It would be really awesome to also have the Lego zone as part of the family zone. And if we do this, let's start off with 6 meters by 6 meters. That's a nice big space. Something around this kind of space. Some tables around the outside. Hang on, let's see. I mean, probably near the retro zone because that would be awesome. And then having a few tables in the middle for people to build. But we are talking, the people I'm talking with, I won't say their names just yet, just in case they, well, I mean, they shouldn't say no. But just in case they say no, I won't say the name just yet, who's going to run it. But they did say we can gamify it. So we can gamify the Lego zone and have that as a, come along, make some games out of Lego, or, well, just do Lego if you want to just do Lego, but come along and actually, design some games using some Lego, and we'll kind of, as I said, we'll kind of gamify that zone a little bit. We'll probably give them, about 6 by 6 for now, and then we'll kind of revise that depending on what space and everything that they want to do. But yeah, they're phenomenal. The guys I've been talking to are really kind of hyped up about it. I just want to get confirmation before I name them, or that 100% written confirmation. Right, where are we? What do we do? So we definitely need the RPG zone, including, I mean, if they'll come back, Living Arcanus and Pathfinder, etc. Let's start building the RPG zone, I think. So last time we had 8 tables for Pathfinder, which ended up, I think that actually ended up going down to 4. And then Living Arcanus kind of became part of that space. And then before we knew it, just the RPGs ended up blending into one, which is fine. I was more than happy for that to happen. But for this time, I think the Pathfinder will start with the 4, and then if they want to extend out, if there's space, we'll go from there. Because I think the RPGs were extremely popular. Let me just get my void in between. So I want to make sure there's a meter in between each table. I think that's what I had before. Hang on a minute. Yeah, I think the RPGs were well received. I think, well, the zone went better than I anticipated, I must admit. There was definitely a few tears from myself beforehand, because I'll be honest, I've never run, well, hang on. So if you look from Converged Games to Pathfinder, bearing in mind, the rest of the haul, I was very, very confident with. I was more than happy with all the space, and I knew what was going to run, and knew how that was going to work, and how that was going to work. But there was this corner that we had meetings in the background, and I ended up calling up Chris after one of our meetings, and mate, I'll be honest, I was, I don't know why, but I was in tears, and I was very much scared of how this was all going to work, because RPGs require so much more admin, respectfully, so much more admin. It has to have someone there to run it. It has to go well. You're in a public setting. The only thing that was looming over my head was that horrific UK Games Expo game that made the BBC News, and that was starting to scare me. And the types of people that a lot of the GMs that were applying that I didn't actually know in person, who in the end ran fantastic games, but I suddenly had that panic of, oh my goodness, this could go horribly wrong. So because just the nature of RPGs and the directions that games can go. So there was definitely a big reminder to all the GMs that you're in a public space. You must be conscious of that. So anyway, I've got Chris on board, and with the support of Phil, I will speak to Carol. Hopefully Carol will be on board again as well. Dan from Living Arcanus, who supported me last time. I'm gonna leave Chris in charge of doing all the sign-ups, as in the GM's games, making sure they're all relevant to the ages that they've put down, because that was one of my other worries, was some were putting games were suitable for certain ages and they weren't suitable for certain ages. And again, just that kind of panic setting of, I don't know really what I'm doing. But that's just because I'm a novice when it comes to RPGs. It went well in the end, but I definitely needed some professionals on board for that one. But I'm more confident this time. I don't think I'll be crying about it this time. I'll be honest. I'm quite honest about my feelings. So it did worry me. Right. So we're going to give Pathfinder the 4 tables, and then I'm just going to extend out to about the 20 tables again. I think the space deserves it. We had lots of other RPGs on board. So, like, as you saw, we had Critical Kit. We had Converge Games. Now, hopefully, Converge Games are going to come back again. I hope. Please, Glenn, come back again. Right, let's fit those in. There we go. Where are we? Oh, hello. Oh, here we go. Ben had great fun on the RPGs. Played 2 on the Saturday, D&D and Daggerheart. Yes, I saw you signed up to those. Oh, hey Mimi, how are you? You and Peter watching? Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, there we go. Laura Rose Tavern, just there. Thanks for joining, guys. Thank you. Chris definitely knows his stuff, and great. Yeah, Chris is on, but Chris is what I am to board games. Chris is to RPGs. That's where we're at. Chris is absolutely top notch, and yeah, he was the one who took the brunt of my phone call. But what a top guy! In fact, it was after that phone call that he went, "Dude, I'll run it," and I was like, "Wow, all right." So I got a lot of respect for him. Hell of a lot of respect for him. Right, let's put that in there because I would like. Well, if Converge would like to come, I'm going to give them a fair amount of space. I'd love to have Critical Kit games back as well. We've got Converge, we've got Critical Kit. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll come back to us. But yeah, I'm going to give, in the end, I will do this space around about the same, this doubled. Hello, Jay. Hey, Mimi. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Yes, we need to talk about the mini painting as well. Jay, we need. Well, realistically, I need everything up the front, but that's not going to happen. The miniature painting, I think, actually worked out where you were. I'm thinking of having you just after the RPGs in the same space. I think respectfully would be fine because you're kind of then. We've got this is kind of twofold, right? It's the entrance to the con with all your traders and all your shops and stuff like that, and then all your zones are going to be at the back. So all the activities, all the the retro games, the Lego zone, the mini painting, I'd like that at the back. On the second half. So for the miniature painting for Jay, we've already spoke about we're probably going to have quite a lot of space for the miniature painting. I think we have 2 tables. Yes, you do. Obviously, we haven't done anything official on. It is. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it is. I've kind of. Let's put you there. There you go. Although, let's put you just so that it's not all dice. Maybe this side, so that because you've got Dice Goblin there. Well, I know because the RPG is this side. No, I'll put you this side. I'm thinking this space would be Dinky Drawings again. In fact, I'm gonna put Dinky Drawings down. With all respects, because Dinky was first in last time. Supported us for lots of other activities and events we've done. So if she goes 1 or 2 tables is up to her. Potentially she could go with Books and Brews again, because I know Books and Brews would like to come back, although that is actually something I want to talk about. You'll see on my notes on the right hand side, Author's Alley is something we want to add to the convention, and have a zone for book fanatics. Right, hey, hopefully they open the doors. Sunday was crazy hot. Yeah, it was crazy hot. It wasn't unbearable, but it was hot. He says, well, he needs a drink because he sat here hot. See, I'm hot right now, but I wasn't that hot in the show. We went to the venue and said that it was too hot because it was glaringly the negative feedback was too hot, and there was nothing I could do about that, and I knew that. I knew it was too hot. Everyone knew it was too hot. I knew that was the feedback we were going to get, but people still put it on their feedback forms. We went back to the venue and said, either you get those Extractor fans on, or find a way of getting them on, or we would like some cooling units brought in. I don't know what the outcome of that is because Dave went for the meeting, but the fact that Dave has booked the hall, and I know that was the condition, it sounds like something is organised. So fear not, everybody that got hot. There's only so much I could do about the heat. I'm so sorry, and especially if you were this side, so like they were cooking in here. So when you were sat up, what Jay was up here. It was hotter this side than it was the other side, because I went over to the RPG guys when they were over here, and this corner was lovely and cool. Not gonna lie. So I think where you situated was very unfortunate. Right, I haven't actually decided how far this is going to go back. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I think I'm going to cap it at 16. Oh, because these are exhibitors that are probably going to, or the exhibitors I had. For example, like No Drinks on the Table, Gun Tower Games, Thiad Games. These are the guys that I kind of are going to start having off in the wings. So let me give you an example. So let's say, for example, sorry, I've got some set out tables just down here, so I can copy paste. Let's say, for example, I don't know, this is No Drinks on the Table, and she comes back to us and says, I would like a demo table with that. All right, we'll do that. And then if she just wanted the one table, I could then double up that. So she could have, all right, a 2 meter and a 2 meter. And then almost imagine this is all set out into 2 meter blocks. Let's bring one over as an example. So let's say, say she takes a 2 meter block for, stop it. I'm so sorry. 1 second. Nope, it's trying to snap. So right. There we go. Right, let's say she takes that, and then her second space she takes for a demo table, because that fits into a 2 meter by 2 meter. It still allows somebody else to have a 2 meter by 2 meter with the same layout and with a gap. Or let's say, for example, she says, all right, I want three demo tables. All right, you could go 1, 2, 3. Going back. Anybody that just wants a selling space, if they don't want demo tables, they'll go down the middle. But if they want a demo space, then they'll kind of go along like that, and I can go as far back as they need. In that respect, we could probably get a designer and 4 demo tables behind them, and I could do that with every single sort of company that gets involved. So I think we did similar for Converge Games, but just they have, like, obviously because they're RPGs, so they're slightly different, so they had to go that way. But if they were a board game, they would then go sort of lengthwise across as much as they want. Same with Critical Kit, they had a selling table and then they went demos back. So imagine this all around the outside, but then not blocking off the people that are selling in the middle. Remember, this is 4 meters brought up from 2 meters. So, thank you all. Thank you for your support. Have head off going to board at home for the games night. Well, you could tell Adam that I've announced the little crossover between these two guys. Have fun at your games night. Hachette and Board at Home are going to work together, in case you missed that, guys. Mystery Dice Goblin and Sophie Power are going to work together, in case you missed that as well. Which is exciting. We've got some little crossovers. Right, where are we? So we were talking about games designers. So then as they come in, I like them all the way along the outside. So the idea is you go down your 4 meter, you're either shopping on the left hand side, or you're looking at your designers on the right hand side, and not having that sort of 1, 2, 3, 4 walkways. These 4 walkways are amalgamated just into 2 walkways. I think it will make things a lot smoother, a lot better for the exhibitors, and then all the games designers around the wing. Kind of, I can vision it better now. I've been in the hall. So that's kind of like the spaces we're looking at, and then look at the amount of people we'd be able to get in. If they had 2 meter slots. There's loads of room up this end. Probably board games this side, all RPGs this side. and then as you get sort of halfway up the hall, all your activities. I'm going to cap that there at the minute. Let's stop there for the sec, because I want to get some zones in. Do you think we could do a corner thing? So one table facing the front and one... Well, if you take... So this is something I was talking about. So we're going to sell the spaces in 2 metre slots. So this will be one space, this will be second space, with 2 metres behind, just to go back to what you did have. So originally they only had that kind of space. If you compare it to what space you've got now, you've almost got double the amount of space behind you. But it also allows for anybody, if they want, to rotate like that. And then you can have that as part of your space. As long as you... But then you could then have shelving units over here if you wanted. But if you're... Yeah, for everybody that takes a double space, it's the other reason why I have left a metre gap in between. So if there is somebody that would rather turn like that, they've got the space to do so. Because there were a few people that were going, can I turn that way? And you go, oh, I haven't really measured for that. No. Whereas this, yes, it allows you to be a little bit more. Yeah, you can turn around as much as you like. This, for what it's worth, this is 2 metres by 4 metres, which is actually about the space that you just had at the convention just gone the week. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Mimi. I've thought about these things. I've definitely, because if you look back, right, sorry, if I go back to this one, let's say, for example, your Zippy Onyx. Now, they had this space, and if Zippy wanted to turn sideways, they then couldn't, because then they'd be too much in the walkway. If that makes sense. Yeah, look, now they're too far over. So by having the spaces squared, it just allows you to, I mean, you could even, if you wanted to, probably wouldn't, but, you know, if you wanted to go back on back, there wouldn't be a reason you'd do that, but you could do something like that. The only thing I didn't want to do is ignore anybody that's, you know, that's. I mean, Dinky actually could go forward facing as well, for what it's worth. And like I just said on the other map, Arcadia were here, and I actually would, if they want to come back, which I hope they do, I will have them come in some more. So they'll probably take one of the wings inside, because I originally did actually want to leave the middle space available. Queen's Hand, the Star Wars guys move over here. Forge and Filigree, which is that blacksmith experience that you may have seen in Birchington, they're going to go over there. And then, yeah, Dice will go sort of down the middle. So imagine, hang on, let me put some tables out just to kind of visualise this a little bit better. So, like, we would go sort of, cannot use a mouse today, apparently. I've been playing games all week, because I'm on a week off. You'd think I'd be better with a keyboard and mouse with all the games I've been playing, but apparently not. Yeah, so like we can kind of not quite as far back, but you know, we can come in, sort of have our sale table sort of here and have a bit of a U shape, sort of facing away, I guess, because we'll have the sign-in desk. We're there. We'll exhibit whilst we're there, but we're not the main. I mean, we've got the prime spot there anyway, so if we have to face the other way like we did last time, that's absolutely fine. But it also means that we can keep in line. You see this 4 metre walkway? One of my notes did say two main walkways. I wanted to combine the four walkways into two, like that. Cool, this is a lot more intricate than the last time I built this. I just want to get rid of some of these lines because they're bothering me now. So we kind of got like our RPG zone here for sort of open games, and then our designers and such will go along here, and I'll have a talk with Phil about where Pathfinder will go. Will they have their own strip, or will they amalgamate with the rest of the RPG games? Bearing in mind we'll have Sophie, we'll have Mystery, and I know Chris is going to be in conversations with a lot more other publishers. There we go, and get them involved, which would be nice. And I'm going to be in talks with lots of board game publishers. Hopefully on the left-hand side, I'm hoping we can have people back like Mind Clash and Paverson. You know, the guys that joined us before. Hopefully we'll have those guys back. Maybe we can get Rosie Pocket to come back and we can do some some cardboard alchemy. That'll be lovely. We'll see. Right, what's on my list? So Retro Zone, which I need to talk to somebody about that. Revised Pokemon Zone. Right, let's do that next. Right, so let's get our revised Pokemon Zone. We're going to get rid of the Lego for now, and we are going to just minimise our. In fact, I can get rid of this. Actually, no. Sorry, 1 second. No, that was going to be my. It's for me. This is for me to measure my middle point. Sorry. Oh yeah. So for those who came later, like Mimi, you'll notice that my artist alley wasn't central to the venue for some weird reason. So if you look, it's actually off to the right, which I didn't realise until I measured the actual hall. So I've brought it central now. So it's actually the true centre and not about the middle. So that's great. Gosh, definitely does. Yeah, sure, defo. Love the food corner being nearer to. Oh yeah, nice and clear. It's a little bit smaller. The map's not particularly readable right now, but what I can do to make things easier is kind of get rid of the dotted lines. You know, eventually this program is very good for measure lines and stuff like that. It's very, very helpful for me. Right, let's make this. No, right, Pokemon Zone, revised Pokemon Zone. We are going to make this 200. Bear with, and I think it's gotta have a really good spot, and maybe probably part of the kids zone, but not too far away, because I would like. We're gonna have some traders that are gonna run this. So let's. Sorry, 1 second. It's going to be by 400 meters, and then no, it's not. Oh my word! It's 800 meters by 800 because there we go. That's better. Can I get this true center? We'll see in a minute. I'll move it in a mode, but what we would like is Alfie's card corner, and sorry, more facing. Oh, I've done it the wrong way. So let's say, for example, we've got Alfie's. Let's say we've got Nathan TCG. We've got Chaos Collectibles, and we've got We Love Collectibles. Let's say they take a corner each, and I'm sure they'll probably have 2 tables each, because that's what they did. Alfie went 1, but we can have. I'm going to have a conversation with Alfie anyway. But let's say, for example, they got 2 tables each, so one there. Right, this is for their singles, so they can have a corner each. It looks like we're going to do battle or something. Let me just lay this out, because this is how I visioned the Pokemon Zone to be. Let's say they've got this kind of space, right? So, okay, that's nice and lined up. So let's say we've got our four guys, and we're going to leave it at that. For Pokemon, it will just be those 4. I'm not going to take on anyone else. With all respect, so I don't want anyone else for Pokemon. But in the middle, let me just copy and paste this. In the middle, I would love, and I've spoken to Alfie and I've spoken to Nathan, and I will have the conversation with the other 2 as well. I really would like more activities for Pokemon related, and that doesn't mean just the playing. I'm talking arts and crafts, being more creative, a space for people to just trade, you know, do some pack openings, do whatever they might want to do, but have down the middle. Oh no, sorry, this is not. That's not the table I want to use. I want to use this one. So straight down the middle of our Pokemon zone, kind of like a little alley. We'll decorate it as well to make it look really fun. We'll get some banners and posters and things like that. We'll have giveaways. We'll do pack openings, and just imagine down the middle. We'll add a few more as we go, but having down the middle sort of some craft areas that people can sit. They can either, in fact, let's turn it because that will fit more in then, won't it? Yeah, then we'll fit 4 that way. There you go, Darius. That was smart. And now I've got confirmation from Alfie and from Nathan that they'd happily run some activities for, you know, tailored at youngers. In fact, let's split that up a little bit so there's a little bit more space. But just a little space here for the Pokemon zone, arts and crafts, competitions, pack openings, not just playing. If we get a little tournament, then fine. You know, we can say, all right, at 2 till 6, we're going to have a little tournament. I don't know, you know, along there. But we don't need. We had 12 tables. Like someone mentioned, there was 2 people playing on the Sunday. It didn't need all that space. So, kind of the revised bit, the revision that I've made, or the note there, the revised Pokemon zone, I've transformed this into this. You know, where you've got your traders on the corners, and having that little space. I might actually allow some of the traders, if they want, to put table space around them, because I know some like to be enclosed for security and such. But if this is popular, I'll increase it. But yeah, something like this would be really nice. I think probably nicer than what we had. Let me put some names in purple, because hopefully they'll. Oh, in fact, sorry, 1 second. I'm nattering now. Let's grab them. There's one here. There's Nathan. No, why is it not letting me? Oh, okay. It's not letting me copy and paste for some reason. So we want to grab Nathan. We want to grab. We love collectibles. We want to grab Nathan. Knows there. Alfie's card corner. We're going to chuck him in there as well, and we're hopefully Chaos Collectibles will come back. Hopefully, I'm sure he will. I'll have a chat with Elliot. Right, so there we go. So kind of there's our 4. Whoever books first can have closest. No, but have something like this where there you go. So we've got our Pokemon dudes. These are the ones that we love. These guys are absolutely brilliant. You know, they all got involved and had a blast last time, so I think respectfully they need the space back. I'm putting them in purple because I want to confirm if I've spoken to them, or well, basically I'm putting them in purple is my reminder to tell me who I need to go and talk to as the organisation happens. There we go. So something like that right at the end. So you get to the end of Artist Alley, and then you kind of hit your Pokemon zone. Over to the right, I think in the same sort of vein, let's talk about Jay's space. I think Jay, I don't know if you're there. Hopefully he's there. Now, last time Agitated Kraken Minis was just that, you know, it was just named that, and then because originally Agitated was going to be down here. And then we had this idea of, well, what about miniature painting? And they said they would take it on. We said, look, it does mean that you'll have to move from, because Agitated was down here to there, like they're going to have to move back a bit if they're going to attach themselves to the mini painting zone. These guys were great, but I don't think there wasn't a lot of engagement with Medieval Centre, so really respect them for coming, but I think we're going to double up the miniature painting due to its popularity. We are quite happy to say that we'll give a lot of tables for this space as well. 100%. I think Jay would agree that it needed more space, and so yeah, we'll probably have however many tables. Now, this is probably a good point, and I will double check, see if Jay's watching. Jay, are you about? Or if somebody watching can tag Jay in Discord or something and say, "Yo, Darius wants you." I'll just wait. I'll just hold fire until we hear from Jay. Let me build his zone first. That will make sense. I think he'll probably have two for his selling, because he's got a lot of gear. But we're also gonna give him a table for displaying as well, like our competition displays, as it were. So ungroup that. We'll take that off. Jay, are you about? Hang on, let's see. Is anyone watching? I don't actually know if anyone's watching. Oh, blimey, I've got 5 here. Oh, hello, 5 people. Wow. Thanks, 5 people. Cool. Right, I'll just wait for Jay first, because I would like to ask his permission on something. No, what am I doing? No, let me just copy and paste this so it saves me typing. He's not there, is he? He's gone away. He's run away from me. Purple, right? And I know he's confirmed, but I want to get it in writing first. Sorry, he's on the phone. Oh, okay, no worries. All I was going to say is, can we use this space now to look for some people to help? Because you and Amy and Erin did incredible, but if we're looking at potentially doubling the space, I think we would like, hopefully, with your permission, we can actually maybe get some helpers. Even if it's another 1 or 2 people, just to give you a hand over the weekend. Well, let's say 2 people, because then one can be on break whilst the other one's helping. Because we're also talking about extending till 10 as well on the Saturday. So remember, slightly longer days. Just going to head off, study and exam. See you guys later. Good luck with that. Good luck with your studies. Yeah, hopefully, by the time I get to part 2, hopefully this will have grown quite a lot. So we will see. I've just realised, actually, is the purple's not really readable, is it? Can I just see if something else will work? Oh no, that's even worse. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if the yeah, I guess that works. All right, I'll use black instead, because that's a lot easier to spot. Because I realised the purple is actually quite hard to read. Well, it is for me anyway. So there we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. I'll change everybody else in a minute. I'm back. Sorry. There you go. Yeah. So I was just saying, Jay, if we could use this space to say, hey, who would actually like to help you out over the weekend? Thinking maybe 2 people that could give you a hand over the weekend, just to make things a little easier. Maybe those who enjoy painting can kind of help out, washing brushes and filling up water, and just being a part of your space as well, being the Kraken family. I think that would be quite nice. But as I said, if we're looking at, giving you almost double the amount of space for miniature painting, because I think, with all respect, it was busy. What did we give you last time? So we had, there was 6 tables. I don't remember. Was it 6 table? Did I give you all 8, 2 for selling and 6 for painting on? So I'm just thinking, if we go 12 might be a bit overkill. but in fact 12 is definitely overkill. But we could maybe we could go 9, so we go 6 to 9, and then people can sit on the ends as well. Then doesn't just have to be. Yeah, 6 before for the painting. Cool. Okay, so yeah, let's go. I think 9 with the anticipation of people sitting on the ends. That fits in quite a lot of space. You've got your selling tables here, just over on this, and then you could have your display table here. Then that's 12 from 8 to 12. So that kind of puts it up a third. I think you're going to be very popular. Oh, there you go. Oh, thanks, Amy. Just realised Amy's on as well. So yeah, let's have this space, and then let's just redo this text. So mini painting zone. Sorry, I definitely cannot type today apparently. So yeah, there's your mini painting zone there. As I said, I think in the lead, I mean, we've got months anyway, but I would recommend, yeah, just say like I've got 1 or 2 helpers, maybe someone that can help on the Saturday and someone that can help on the Sunday, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a break as well. I can get more paint, and we are planning on doing more banners. Yeah, so all your banners can go up the back here. Would be quite nice. Just opposite the Pokemon zone, so kind of like the big creative zone up here for sure. Which actually, if we've oh, stop it. If I've got, why is it doing that? Right, there we go. It's being horrible. I think maybe I will extend the Lego zone as well then. So let's find our middle point. So 1 second, I just want to make sure that the Pokemon zone is as central as it can be. What we got here, so that's 1072. So 1072. Is that enough room for 2 meters in between? Let me see. Yeah, that works out. So 2 meters between you and the Pokemon zone, and then 2 meters between. Hang on, nope, that's right. So let's go. What we short here? 1028. Let's make you 1028 because we can bring your stool back a bit, can't we? There we go. Let's bring you just back ever so slightly. There we go. And then got your 2 meters there in the Pokemon zone. Just there. Perfect. Right. That means the Pokemon zone is now central as well. This may shift up or down, but actually I'm thinking we've got the mini zone, we've got the Lego zone opposite, Pokemon zone down the middle. You've kind of got your craft zone, and be that, you know, that might end up going up towards the retro games bit, depending on what else we get sort of more games designers in. But yeah, definitely the activity zone, as it were. Oh, here we go. Army Painter are being so kind of offering lots of bits. I've asked someone waiting on a reply. Plus, my mum will have Erin. I might get them to hand out flyers. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, get them involved. Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, man. Right. So what that's really cool. Thank you, Jay, and thanks, Amy, for jumping on the chat and just confirming this kind of space. We would love to add, and I say we, this is more me and Jade, with the help of I've spoken to Mark Stay, and I do need to get a hold of Books and Brews at some point, but we would love an author's alley. Now I don't know if that's going to stay as that name. I know that MCM use writer's block, which is kind of a play on word. I quite like author's alley because I like the alliteration. And it is going to be that. sort of a zone where not only will we have some authors that will obviously have their books for sale, but somewhere that maybe we could do some book reading and things like that. So similar to our Pokemon zone, on the outside having maybe some authors, and such, but actually a space where people can sit and read. I just realised I was going to have it near the bar area. Sorry, RPGs, you're all moving. They'll be fine. They'll be fine with it. No, I don't like that. Hang on a minute. Area. There we go. Let's get those done. One second. I remembered now. I was going to have the authors bit near the bar, because that's a perfect space to go and for what we'd like to pull off, a perfect space where people can chill and have a couple of authors around the outside, a bit like what we had for the Pokemon zone here with on the outside, but then maybe some comfortable seating in the middle. Maybe we can move those chairs that were at the front, can all go to that zone. We will see, but I kind of want it to be a fairly big space, a space for maybe maybe I'm punching here, but maybe about 10 authors, maybe, which could be quite nice. There we go. So we were going to go with about this amount of space. Again, me and Mark Stay can have this conversation about what we do call it, but like an author's alley, and again having sort of, maybe we could have some book signings and stuff like that. So now this was actually influenced by my partner Jade, and in fact actually this is a zone that I'm going to leave Jade mostly in charge of as well. She's already agreed to it. But this was influenced by my partner Jade. A bit of story time. We booked off a weekend to go to a book fair. I won't name where it is because, they were rubbish, but I don't want to give them a bad name. And we booked the whole weekend off. We went along. It was advertised as having authors and crafts and all these wonderful things, which we thought as a family we would very much enjoy. And when we arrived, there was 3 tables under a gazebo, and it wasn't what I would call a book fair of any kind. I've been to bookshops that had more books, but Jade's words was there were more authors at CGC than this book fair, and she was right. We had Books and Brews, who's a distributor, a retailer for books. We had Mark Stay, we had Willow Woods, we had a few other writers that were about the halls playing RPGs as well, that didn't have a stall, but they were writers nonetheless. But I just went, yeah, you're right. We did have more at CGC. So this is kind of the inspiration to have, this sort of author's alley, as it were, where we can have some space down the middle. I'm just trying to sort of gauge the space right now. 1 second, where we could have, if I maybe, will we get 10 authors? Maybe that would be an awesome goal. I would probably go with fantasy writers, though, and maybe authors that are actually into gaming as well. Actually, might be sort of one of the, so it's still relevant. So you keep thinking that people are on the same level as you, but what do you mean? Yeah, why was that all in caps? Yeah. I'm back. Sorry, it took so long. Oh no! Oh bless you. Hi again, Fru. So yeah, just down in the middle here, sort of some. This is kind of what I envision, right? So this is really silly, but we've kind of got like, you know, maybe a few sofa areas in the middle, something like this. I might see if I can actually get some second-hand sofas where and maybe combine it with, you know, maybe some storytelling zone, just a reading zone. So if people want to just sit and read a book, you know, have some group readings, maybe turn it into a book club, you know, something like that, you know. But we'll see. So got some, what's that, 2, 4, oh no, that's 8. Let's go 8 authors. Definitely Mark Stay's got to be one. 100%. And we've got to, I need to talk to Willow Woods, because I know they were saying they were having a break, which is probably not the best time to have a break when we're talking about doing our own sort of Authors Alley book fair, as it were. But having like Mark Stay this side, Books and Brews, let's put them over the other side as well, and get these guys involved. It could even be, I know this sounds silly, this could be a nice area for exhibitors to just go and have a break. just go and have a sit down and a chill, and maybe the sofas wouldn't be as big as this, you know. Maybe we just have sort of some corner, maybe, I don't know, it depends what I can get hold of. In fact, let's use, there we go, that's better. So maybe I could just have a couple of these. We could play Blood in the Clock Tower here later on if needs be. But yeah, a couple of like comfortable chairs, sofas. If anyone knows anyone that's getting rid of sofas, let me know, because then I can store them at the lockup until we're ready to use them. You know, something like this, where people can kind of sit together, have a book read. It could be that, you know, maybe we asked each of the authors to do a book reading from each of their books, potentially, you know. That's kind of the vision, but it depends on, I want to see what ideas actual authors can come up with, you know, something like that. Do you see what I'm, hopefully that gives you a nice visual of what I envision. So sort of your authors around the corner, around the sides, and then probably more seats than just 8. But yeah, dad chairs. There you go. Books and Brews. Yeah, Books and Brews were lovely. And Mark is an absolute legend, and some very good movies on Amazon Prime. I'm very glad to know him and Books and Brews, because they're great people. But let's see what we can fill up. Mark's got some connections. Yeah, let's see what we can do. But yeah, I sorry RPGers, I realised that I did actually want some space next to the food and drink. It's a nice idea. Yeah, I said it was Jade's idea. You know, Jade was like, you had more authors at CGC. You had. She bought more books than the book fair that we went to, and I think that speaks volumes. That, you know, hey, we'll do that, but we'll do it better. Oh, blown our own trumpet there. There we go. Right, so there's the RPG zone. Right, cool. So I've done quite a lot actually, and I see Mystery Dice Goblin. Yes, so yeah, let's have for those who are late joining us. So saying about Dice and Destiny, we'll have more of a thin space, small space here. I've aligned it with the 2 big walkways, so I've gone from 4 walkways. So originally it was 1, 2, 3, 4, but they were all 2 meters each, to just 2 big walkways at 4 meters each. So there's a lot more space, and when I get rid of that, you can then see a massive amount of space, and every single trader that's on that end. Oh, hello. Where are the names gone? Oh, that's weird. Where did Laura Rose Tavern go? Sorry, I got completely distracted there. Laura Rose Tavern. Let's put them back, shall we? Because they were meant to be here. Right, then I'll go over what we've got going on here. Elbow room, yes. Definitely. Well, elbow room, and also they've got more space behind them, and then there's nobody in front of them for 4 meters, which means that people can walk up and down quite freely. Just kind of gives a little bit more space than that. That is really, and I don't know why these are deleted, but there were tables up and down. It just was a bit crammed. Looks a bit neater and a little bit more. Can I request one of the good chairs again? It helped my back. Yeah. Just grab one from the front. Yeah, we can look at chairs because I'd like some more comfortable ones, but they're very expensive, unfortunately. We'll see, Jay. We'll see. Right. Where was I? So, oh yeah. So we were going on the overview. So the Queen's Hand, they were the Star Wars guys that were over here. I'm going to put them where the streamers were because they took up the same amount of space. Forge and Filigree is the blacksmith experience that you may have seen in Birchington. Hey, there you go. Oh look, Fru's getting excited now by the Pokemon and Lego. Hachette and Board at Home are going to club together and have. Because Board at Home originally had demo space, and then Hachette were all the way up here, and they did actually do a lot of work together. So let's get them together, get them right at the front. Mystery Dice Goblin and Sophie Power going to work together. Sophie, I think, is over the moon with that. Anyone there right by the? No, the toilets are fine because the toilets aren't right here. The toilets are down here, aren't they? So you kind of got... Hang on, let me draw the wall. Sorry, I've just seen what Fru said. Structure, walls. So you've kind of got... Oh, is it going to draw? It did draw. Ooh, there you go. You know, you've kind of got a room before you... You've kind of got this room before you get to the toilet. So... Do you know what I mean? It's not as bad as it. Like I was here most of the week. You couldn't smell the toilets, so you'll be fine. Where's doors? Doors? Yeah, you kind of go through a door to then more. It's fine. I know it's more. Walk past them and lots hopefully won't clog the way to the toilet. Well, no, so we won't have Arcadia tables there. So before we had the streamers were here, and the streamers were not in the way. The printer we had was in the way, but that's fine because we can plug that in over here. We didn't have to be up there. And the reason why we had the printer and everything over there is because we were doing tournaments and stuff. We don't plan to do the official tournament, so we shouldn't need the printer nor the space over there. So it's fine. Yeah. As I said, worst case scenario, we could set up a table over here because there was a plug socket over here. What did the Queen's Hand do? They did the Sabak, the Star Wars game. They were here last time. Oh, ignore the 13 chairs. That's just how many chairs they needed. So they were over here. They're going to move over here, and then Forge and Filigree with a 6 meter space just over here. Then yeah, Food and Bar, Sophie Power, Laura Rose is booked in. Where did Dinky Drawings go? I'm sure Dinky's going to join. I don't know why their names disappeared. Oh my word. This system is rubbish. Or it's probably me deleting stuff by accident. Right, Dinky. Let's put Dinky back. Right, there we go. Yeah, Hachette, Author's Alley. So Markham Books and Brews. Just up there. And then the RPG Zone, which let's actually name that because otherwise you are not going to know what it is. Maybe. RPG Zone. And I was saying, like, we're going to put all the RPGs pretty much together. All the ones that are organised by not... So, like, if it's a company, then they'll have their own space similar to this, going from sort of middle to front. But otherwise, if it's just, GMs of the community, then they'll run in this zone here. We do need a sign-up station as well, so I'll sort that in a minute. Right, and then as we go in, I'm just going to change the text on these because these are awful. Sorry, I can't read them. I was doing purple, but then I realised I can't actually read them very well. So colour, let's make all these black and white. Oh no, stop it. It's the same button to move things as it is to move around the show. And Chaos Collectibles. Again, that's if these guys accept. I'm the ones in black I'm just assuming or haven't got anything in writing. Hence why I'm also putting agitated Kraken. If it's in white, it's definite. If it's in black, it's people I've got to talk to. There we go. Save and hydrate. Yes. Save. Thank you. Thank you, because I haven't saved for a while. Oh, thank you. Save and hydrate. Thank you, Fru. That's what you're here for. And yeah, the Pokemon Zone is a revised Pokemon Zone as well. The Pokemon before was 12 tables. It was busy on the Saturday because we had a cup, but again, that was a tournament. And then on the Sunday, there was a few people, which wasn't great. So we can condense that space. We can have our four guys in the corners, and then some craft tables down the middle. So some art, some crafts. Actually, Fru and Dan. So I know Fru's there because she is very much in the chat. Thank you for all the comments and some love hearts, lovely. Dan, we need to talk about what space you want as well. And then are we combining you both? And are we potentially getting you involved up here with the boys? With the boys, because the Retro Zone was very, very popular. So we can either get you stationed up here as a group, or do you want down by the front? What do you want? What do you guys want? In the meantime, what was I doing? Got me zone. I'm gonna make a lot of the boys. Yeah, so I need to talk to them, but obviously they had the zone up here, which with all respects was very busy because people wanted to come and play the Retro Zone. But obviously want to talk about what they want to do. I think as this area would be very good for content creators as well. So what I'm thinking is very similar to our. Sorry, let me just copy this area so I can copy and paste it. Sorry, 1 second. Copy, and then on here paste. There we go. Lovely. Now this might look very different to the space we've got, but it's the right amount of space in terms of what they had last time. So they had, just to confirm, let me ungroup it on here. They had 6 by 10 by 6. Yeah, I think they had about 10 by 6. That's fine. Go away. Now, maybe some of the social media folk can go around this area here, but it depends on what Dan wants to do as well. Okay, so Dan, you want Dicey down by the front. Okay. Now, Dan, do you know roughly how many tables you were thinking? Because I'm just thinking, Dan and Fru want to be. I mean, I'm almost thinking, do we have the Dicey Dragon Zone up by the Retro Zone, and then have Fru as part of that as well, and then kind of have a whole section where it's up the front with the role play. I think that's wise. I think Dan should be up the front with the role play games, and I should be with the retro area. Sure. Okay. I mean, is that okay with you both? Are you both okay with that? Because I know that obviously through you ran some games for Dan as well. It feels weird separating you. I tell you what, we'll have a conversation. Us three will have a conversation separately. We're meeting up next weekend anyway, aren't we? And then I would have spoken to Tom and Luke by then. Because, with all respects, the retro games don't even have to go there, really. But I know you're not joined at the hip, but I know that you help you and Dan help each other and stuff like that. So, tell you, I almost think that, yeah, having because this is what I'm envisioning. What are you doing? Sorry. Right, and then copy paste. Right, so this is what I'm thinking. Bear with, because I've got to ungroup some stuff now. Let's get rid of the dotted spaces, because we definitely don't. Stop it. So we get rid of something like that, right? Something like that, and then so your dicey dragon games with a couple of demo. Oh, this has gone terribly wrong. So obviously you got your entrance to the retro zone. And then you kind of have a few. Do you know what? I'm going to get rid of these. 1 second, because as a group they are doing my head in. Sorry, not as a group they're doing my head in. I might as well just copied and pasted from here. And you kind of have, your 2 spaces, or maybe a demo table for your Dicey Dragon there. Your Froodles sort of around there, near the retro zone, but then you can kind of all work together, kind of thing, maybe. But we can have that conversation. Let's put you like that for now, and then we'll see how that goes. Yeah, this is called Floor Plan Creator. So if I go back to this, oh no, that does not have the logo. Yeah, I can have multiple. Well, I've paid, so it's £3 for the year, and it means that I can have multiple projects. So I can have these 2 projects open, and I can print them. So I can actually get them in PNG and actually print them in good quality. Yeah, I think you 4. I know you were joking about the glued at the hip thing, but you 4 are quite a strong unit. The four of you together, that's almost, to me, it's almost like having the author's alley and then telling Mark to go somewhere else. Do you see what I mean? Like it feels like you 4 are going to come as a unit. But this could be this, because I know that we talked about this, and obviously Dan Incogni, you've got your channel. Free, you've got your channel. These guys that are running the retro games have got their channel. We could almost, that social media section that you were talking about through, could almost be right up here. So all the, hang on. So if I do a 2 meter gap between the retro zone and where you guys are, and then you can almost have your social medias. So you have that's Dan and his demo table, and then you have Fru, and then you have other. I could have a few social media people along here, as long as they're maybe running activities or running sign-ups. So I don't know, whatever they might want to do. You could have a couple along there in front of the retro game zone. In fact, my mate Mad Hatter. Matt Heath, he's going to be there next weekend. We can have a conversation. So it can almost be, you've got Matt, you've got Fru, you've got Dan, you've got Dan's game, you've got the boys back here demoing, and you can all help each other. Yeah. The filthy Twitch streamers, yeah, that's why I put you in the corner. Yeah. Right, so we're kind of filling up the hall a lot already. I need see. I'm going to do some open play zone, but probably not quite as much as this. But I want sort of. In fact, no, sorry. Yeah, let me start again. I want a club zone, right? So imagine. So this is our board game library and bring and buy zone. And I need to make sure that there's 2 meters either side of that. Let me put 2 meters between that, which I think I've measured up pretty well. Oh well done, Dazz. Right, there we go. So 2 meters from there, 2 meters from there. Sorry, I'm chatting to myself now. I would like, rather than just an open play zone, clubs. So each club, I would envision, would have sort of 4 tables, right? So let's say, for example, we've got 1. So this will be, I don't know, Thanet Board Game Club, and they have 4 tables, and that's a club, right? And then the vision would be that 1 or 2 people from their club at all times are here demoing games, right? And then alongside that, oh hello, let me area this off. Nope, not including those. There are some things with this system that sucks. Then, let's say we've got the Dover guys. Then we have the Maidstone Club. And then we have the Whitstable Club. And then we have another club. And just have different games clubs with their banner, at the end of each one. Who they are, or this end maybe, with where they are in Kent, what days they run, what's their price, where do they meet, and just promote games clubs. And I'm gonna rename this zone. Oh, sorry guys, 1 second. My daughter is just calling. I'm just gonna mute 1 second. Hello, hello. Am I back? Sorry about that. Just because Jess wasn't meant to finish till 7:30, but she's finished an hour early, so I didn't expect that. I meant to go meet her, but she'd already started walking home. Obviously, I didn't. I thought she was. I thought she was on till 7:30. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. But she is coming in the door as we speak, so you'll hear her in a sec. She's probably just talking to her mum downstairs. He's back. Yes, I'm back. Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Right, I've updated the chat bit there because I realised I've actually done all the things that I had the notes to do first. I've just put on there any suggestions. Is there anything that you guys want to see that wasn't at the last one? Or what did we not have enough of, or did we have too much of something else? There we go. Here she comes. Hello, Jessie. I was just saying to them that I was expecting you in an hour, and I was going to come and meet you, but you're already home.
I was like, this
right.
is very early.
It is very early, yes.
But then
right.
I got there at
So
4.
let me put the gaps in between. Just want to make sure that each club has got a good meter. Or you can add my name if you like. Yes, I will. Yeah, let me do that. Sorry. Yeah, let's do that quickly. 1 second. Hello, Jess. Oh, that's awesome. Come and show the chat. Come on.
Okay.
Come on. I'm up in the top left. So Jess has been practicing for a show that she's in on Saturday. Bring it closer. There you go. So she's got her official Showtime 2025. Woo! That's awesome. That's awesome. Jess, everybody. She'll be at the show.
Hello.
I did actually say you should produce your own show, and if you could do it in 8 months and get a crew, let's do. Jess is going to do a musical about board games.
Am I?
Amy, just a thought. Maybe the university could make more revenue if they had F&B staff going around some of the zones, like food and beverage. Oh, okay. What, like as a like a table service kind of thing? So maybe for example, the food and bar guys, I could say to them, can you go to up to the mini painting on the right hand side? Possibly. There was enough of them, to be fair. There was quite a few of them around and walking around, and I think they did quite well in the end. Fruitles, doodles. Let's put fruit on there. Yeah.
Is the Lego space going to be that big?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, that's a good question, Jessie. So Jess said, "Is the Lego zone going to be that big?" Well, we plan on having like gamifying it. We could turn it as part of the. I've got Lego zone, but I'm thinking children's family zone as well. Yeah. So maybe for example, if I can get Crazy Lee Creations to come back, they could kind of be part of that, and we can have the giant games and such around there, you know. Hang on, Fruitles. It's going to take that one, and then we can have Dicey Dragon games on this one.
Ice cream van.
I can't. Who put that? Fruitles, I can't. And we're not allowed external food and drink on site, I'm afraid.
Hi.
Sorry. Yeah, we cannot have other. Well, we can. To be fair, we can ask the bar to do ice creams. That wouldn't be a problem. But the university can only have their own food and drink on site. So that's why we didn't have food. Oh, that's where they've gone. Sorry, I realised they were missing from here. Yeah, so Jess, you've missed some stuff. Yeah, I can ask these guys. I'm sure they've got a freezer. I'm sure they can source a freezer to sell some ice creams. So leave that with me. I'm going to put that on the I'm going to put ask.
Ice cream.
That's going to be my. I'm gonna save this, by the way. So if anything, unless I action it straight away, I will leave that as a reminder to myself. Did I just move the whole thing? What just happened? I feel like something just happened there. Don't know what happened there. Anyway, right, what was I doing? I definitely came down here for a reason. Oh, it was just. Oh, there we go. That's that. I was just showing Jess. Yes, Queen's Hand going to move from over there to over there. Forge and filigree is that blacksmith experience. Then us down the middle.
Ask them for more variety.
Yes, yeah, variety as well.
Did they have vegan options?
Yeah, they did. They had some food variety. Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do. I mean, everybody could have ordered as well. So if there was something that wasn't for your taste in there, you could have ordered anything. So, like even on site, off site, they weren't checking. We weren't checking. If you wanted to bring food in, bring food in. There's only so much we could do to feed you guys. There's only so many options with all the allergies and everything that are out there. You know, it's very tricky to kind of cater to everybody.
They had one vegan option.
Who said they had like one vegan option? Yeah, but I don't think there's. Well, yeah, that's not great. But then also, I mean, a lot of vegans kind of anticipate that now, don't they?
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of vegans that just end up taking their own food to stuff, just because options are so limited and rubbish. I'm not saying I agree with them being limited and rubbish, but they just are. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see what I can ask them to add certain things. Sorry, Jess. What I was doing here was we're changing the way we're doing the exhibitor stuff, so they can get a 2 meter by 2 meter space, and then they can then tag that on. Say if they're like a board game designer, they could then tag it onto the selling space and then all your demo space behind. So that would be how that would work. Who am I missing actually? Right, so Lorcana Commander, Pokemon Flesh and Blood. We've kind of revised the Pokemon zone. We'll have some open play. We'll have some open play space around. I have
a question.
Hachette, the Lovecraft Collective. That didn't need to be as big as it is, but we will still bring it back. What's your question, sorry?
Blacksmith guys, are they going to be there?
I just said that.
Oh.
Forge and filigree. You wasn't listening. Oh, great. See, this is the kind of people I have to deal with. Are the blacksmith guys going to be there? Yeah, I literally just told you. Forge and filigree. Blacksmith experience, yes. Yeah, it's very hard to feed everybody. I just take my own food to places and just eat that. But, I mean, they had food options. I can ask them for more options, but then also the more options they have, or the more options they do, then they've got to, yeah, it's very hard. Yeah. Right, let me move that up. I've just realised that everything is kind of wrong. Void. Let me. Oh no, that's why people's names are missing, because every time I get rid of a void area. Hang on, no, what's that?
To be fair, you did say it fast.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry. I've got a lot to cover, alright? Shall I talk slower for you then?
Yeah.
Would that help you then? What did you say?
Mark's Day.
Right, there we are. Yes, I'm going to put this together so I can move that down.
Free has a question.
1 second through. I'm just moving everybody down because I don't know why there was a gap and it was bothering me. 1 moment. There we go. Boom. There we go. A little bit more space now, and then we could put Author's Alley back. We could put Mark back. We could put Books and Brews back. There we go. Cool. Right. Would we be allowed door? I did. I did.
Did you speak?
I did open all the doors. And
or did you speak to the university about the aircon?
Right. Oh, you was at your doctor's meeting. So Dave went and met them. I don't know what the solution is, but Dave said we'll only book if they can solve the aircon or the air problem, the heat problem, and he's booked the place. So I'm assuming. I know that we're going to give them the ultimatum of either they get the units on that were up in the air that nobody seemed to know how to put them on, or that we bring in external fans, blowers, cooling units because you can hire them. But we have basically said like they kind of need them. So I'm guessing something came of that, and I will ask Dave because he said we would only book this place if we could get something. So I know it was hot. Everyone was telling me it was bloody hot. Right, I struggle with the heat, and it was warm, but I don't think it was unbearable. I don't know. Maybe.
You were moving around though.
I was moving. Yeah, but then I would be hotter.
Yeah, but they were sat at one table for the whole thing.
I would have been more cool if I was sat down, not moving.
Yeah, but but they had. I don't think there was much airflow there.
But yeah, I mean, we didn't anticipate it was going to be that hot. But there's only so much we can do to cool the place down. So at least we'll know now that we kind of need fans and industrial sized stuff to try and cool the place down. Be it all the doors and windows are. Sorry, you might have to shut all the doors and then we get some big aircon units in there. But I don't know. Yeah, no, moving around would warm me up. Every time I was sat down, I was fine. I only got a bit warm when I was walking around, but everybody was sweltering. So yeah, it was hot, but it was also August. It's summer. There's nothing what can you do about that? Sorry, I am aware that it was hot, but it does kind of it kind of annoys me because I know it was hot. So there's nothing like. At that time, it was like, it's hot, it's warm, that it's summer. That's what summer is. It's just warm.
I don't like summer.
Huh?
I don't like summer.
No, I don't like summer. I can't stand summer. I absolutely detest summer. Can't stand it. Yeah, honestly, I am the worst when it comes to... sorry, 1 second. Oh, it's trying to select the whole thing. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I've kind of got... Oh, that's it. No. I don't want to do that. Oh, I'm going to have to do it and ungroup it. Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, of course. Yeah, I mean, everybody suggested that we get it cooler. There's only so much I can do to make it cooler. What's this? If you spend lots of time up on the mini painting, it just got crazy Sunday. Saturday wasn't bad. Because we couldn't open all the doors for some reason on the Sunday. I don't know why, but all the doors that I had opened on the Saturday,
they were locked.
Were shut on the Sunday, and I would love to know why I couldn't open that same door that we had open on the Saturday, but
well, I think it was because they were locked. Because what was her name?
Amy,
the lady.
Jay's wife?
No.
Oh.
The lady that was looking after.
Oh, Caroline.
Yeah, she did go around opening all the doors.
She did, but yeah, not all of them could open.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, and then as I said, it's all hindsight stuff, and I know it was hot. So let's stop bringing that up because it's like the only thing that people basically like. To me, the show was amazing. And every time people talk about the show, they keep bringing up the heat, and it's kind of like, I know. Can we talk about the show? In fact, a lot of you may or may not know. Obviously, like I used to run Uncon, and one of my biggest bugbears was the food, because I'd put on this game show, and all the negative feedback was about the food. And I'm like, I let people order what you could with Uncon. You could bring any food you wanted. You could bring any food. You could order food in. I had discount codes with eateries round that do Just Eat and stuff. Like I had. Bring whatever you want, and then people would still moan about food, and it just I was like, I'm not running a food festival, I'm running a gaming convention. Yes, as part of that you do need food and drink, but I gave people any option. Your option was anything you want, because it really was a yeah. So what else is new for 2026? So yes, so obviously, yeah, we've got the Author's Alley, which I want to add in. Forge and Filigree are going to be new, so the blacksmith experience. Some more crossovers with people like Sophie and Mystery Dice and Shet and Board at Home. Then we've got an extended mini painting, a revised Pokemon Zone. Lego Zone is going to be part of that as well. The addition of the board game clubs, so I'd love board game clubs to actually run the zones. Social media, I think we do need that as a space. That was your suggestion in the Discord through, and I think I really like that idea. It was an awesome weekend. Uncon was fun. We still haven't played the Dwarves. Oh yeah, the Dwarves game that you bought a while ago. That's amazing. But yeah, I was going to say you played that Dwarves game a lot when it came out. So yeah, quite a lot new. I want to talk to some more designers, of course. So that's kind of why I've left a lot of gaps, sort of left and right here, because yeah, there's going to be quite a lot of designers. I hope getting involved. I'm going to leave some space here for some other ideas. I think we're definitely going to have things like sort of Blood and the Clock Tower and such. But looking back at sort of our other zones, we had the Lovecraft Collective, so we had our Cthulhu-based games. I think I talked to Steve about this because that was really cool. We will, yeah, obviously we've extended that. Yeah, we've got to have some Blood and the Clock Tower. Crazy Lee, going to chat to them and see if they'll be up for being part of the family zone and the Legos bit. You know, it's just going to be cool. I think really actually the family zone is going to be kind of adjacent to the Lego zone up here, because we do want some family gaming as well and some big games. We were demoing it and others, but oh yes, that's right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you demoed quite a lot actually, didn't you? Yes. Wow, going back. Yeah, which is cool. I think this is probably, because I'll be honest, I think this is kind of part one sort of done. You know, all the designers that we had left and right, so your fan crafted, your Toshi's plushies, Gun Tower, no drinks. A lot of these guys are going to come back, but they're going to take but they'll be along this way. So it might, so as you're coming down the big walkway, you'll be like, oh, Mind Clash games, oh, Rail Brew games, oh, we got, and basically the idea of having all these games companies sort of taking sort of like a whole row each. Obviously, board games are a little bit different to the role play games in terms of size, but it might be something like this where, yeah, you go, right, there's one company, there's the next company, you know, with all their demo games that you could join in, just all the way along the wing, just as you meet people, you know, you see their game at the front, and then if you're interested, you come in and play, and we'll do something along the lines of that. Or I might have 2 meter zones, so I'm either going to play with that, or I do sort of, I know, for example, like Bad Trevor will want sort of like a 4 meter by 4 meter space. So, you know, it might be that games company will have sort of this amount of space. So there's one games company, and then there's another games company. So I either have them in rows like that, or I have them in cubed areas similar to this. So then, no matter how they're set up, they're not blocking the sellers in the middle, and they're just kind of all off to the wings. which would be good. Oh, hang on. There's lots of back. It's a quick thing. What would you like to see from us, the Laurel Rose Tavern? What new thing shall we do? Well. I opened the mystery pin and got a Bulbasaur. That's so cool. You got pride of place in the hall. Yeah. So I mean, me personally for Laurel Rose Tavern. Obviously, if other people would like to chip in. The badges were amazing. So we've got the CGC badges in the different colours as well. So I've got my other ones. They should be in here. There should be. I think Jess nicked one. Oh, Jess stole the purple one, even though she's got her own pink one. But then at the Pal Cotton, you did the animal ones. So I've got the tiger. Jess, what one did you go with?
I went with
the
giraffe.
The giraffe. So obviously we had things like the original badges. They were in different colours. Then we had the animal ones at the Pal Cotton. We would love 6 for the 2026 quiz winners, because I know 2025 winners were wearing them at the weekend just gone, and they had their bragging rights. So maybe a 2026 one would be really cool. And then either some other designs, or if we could put the logo on maybe some other sort of I don't know, sort of like maybe on a key ring. I don't know if you could do key rings or anything like that. Enamel pins would be awesome, but I know they're a little bit more expensive. Because obviously these you could make. So anything you could maybe make that could have the logo on, and we could do pre-orders, that would be cool. Maybe some key rings, maybe like, I know this is Spyro, for example. Oh, by the way, Spyro. But like rubber key rings are quite cool.
A magnet?
Sorry?
A magnet?
A magnet. A magnet, yeah, maybe if you could make magnets, that'd be quite cool. But yeah, us personally, it'd be really, I was saying to Mimi, like having sort of Laurel Rose as the as sort of your that's where you get your merch. Because we could order in merch and then sell the merch, but actually having a dedicated sort of one of our attendees that can actually make some merch, it kind of gives them a big name as well. That's where you go to get all your merch, and kind of rather than having a merch stall, you go to Laura, and then hopefully people obviously pick up other things from you. But yeah, I'm looking into enamel at the moment. Oh, okay, fair enough. Merch, like being being the merch holders. You guys have got the maybe on your next lot of coloured pins, maybe have maybe some themes, maybe. So like obviously your stall is very obviously fantasy based. Maybe if there could be a Western themed one and or based on different games, maybe potentially with board game backgrounds. So maybe like Carcassonne in the background or something. I don't know about copyrights and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. But Dice Dragons with your logo. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, if anyone else has got any other suggestions, Fru, this is a question for Fru. I think maybe some stickers, maybe some CGC stickers
and tattoos.
And because I love Lidl as a sticker. Thanks for these, Fru. These are amazing. You also made tattoos. So maybe tattoos with the with the logo on. Or mugs. Mugs could be good. Yeah, maybe like those rather than just them a normal mugs, but like the proper tankard stuff. But you'd have to do pre-order. I think you would have to do pre-orders, because I think if you had too much product left over. I mean, yes, you could then sell it in November and then sell it in August next year as well. But I very much think that you would have to take pre-orders and stuff like that. I was going to ask if you stuck them down yet. I have stuck one of them down. I'm actually saving these for the weekend. I was going to take one for the weekend and try and do our video. Tankards are harder. Oh yeah, tankard. Oh, fair enough. But do you know what I mean? Like regular mugs look rubbish, but well, not rubbish, but do you know what I mean? Like at least make it maybe not just have them white with the logo. Maybe black with the logo might just make them look nicer. I've got so many white mugs with things on them. Yeah. Oh, actually, this is maybe something. Oh, I'm going to put it on my notes. Maybe we can have an agreement. Maybe an agreement with Laura Rose Tavern. That LRT is Laura Rose Taverns, and F&B, which is the food and beverage, about buy a mug, get tea, coffee,
Free.
refills. Like, so what I mean by that is like, if someone has a Canterbury Gaming Convention mug, can they get a tea refill for 50p? Something like that, you know. I've brought my mug, fill it with tea. I'm going to leave that on my notes as a reminder. There you go. Something like that would be cool. I think I am pretty much done. Well, not done. Obviously, there's stuff to add. There's people I want to talk to. There's zones I do want to add. But I'm going to come back to this for sort of a part 2. Because this isn't finished. Nowhere near is this finished. Obviously, I will probably do this maybe in about a month. When I've started talking to exhibitors. Maybe my part 2 can be that I start putting exhibitors' names in. So that you guys can see who will be coming. I mean, just as a reminder of last time, all the names we did have last time, these are all the people I've got to speak to, and more, because there's more folk I've met since. So, but yeah, a lot of conversations. I'll try and have a meet with Mark in the next month as well. So probably in about, you know, sort of late December time, if I come back and do a part 2, and populate this map with much more more interesting things to add. I am flagging a bit. My brain is going a million times to the dozen, but yeah, let's have a quick refresh before we do go. So far we've added obviously Dice, the Star Wars Sabbath guys, and the Blacksmith Experience, Jess.
Thanks.
Over on the right hand side. Mystery and Sophie, Loyal Rose Tavern up the front. Dinky's going to have the front. She's our resident artist. She has to. Hachette Games are teaming up with Board at Home. Then games designers are going to either take this layout or a squared layout. And I might give them the options when they book. Author's Alley. So a little bit of an idea between myself, Jade, and Mark, and I'd love to get Books and Brews involved. Our RPG zone. And then we're going to have more space up here for people like Converge Games and Critical Kit, if they'll come back. I'm sure they will. I think they had a good time. Miniature painting zone, which we've doubled in size. Well, no, sorry, increased by a third, because they've gone from 6 tables to 9. Plus some space there. I mean, to be fair, they could probably add a couple of extra chairs if they get busy. The Pokemon zone, so we can have some crafts and stuff, and then all run by our 4 lovely Pokemon dealers. And then we've got our Lego zone, which is going to be part of a much bigger family zone for sure. But we want Lego. We definitely want Lego in there. And then, yeah, board game clubs over here. Just need to move these up, but I'll sort that next time. Here you go. And then board game library and bring 'em by. I'm going to make these 2 look distinguished from another, because I've heard that apparently people couldn't tell the difference, but is what it is. And then retro games and some social media. Maybe if there's a lot of social media people that want to get involved, we can spread this. We've got room to spread out a little bit. I need to get Blund the Clock Tower in there somewhere, but we'll see. They could possibly have part of the RPG zone. Yeah, so let's leave it there for now, and let's see what we can do for part 2. Thank you everybody for watching. It's been a lovely evening. Thanks for everybody in the chat as well. All the people I expected to be there, so thank you. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I will chat to you all individually. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Don't forget to save. I saved. I did. Sorry, Fruit. If I just show you, the save button is. Oh, it's gone. Oh no. Hang on a minute. No, not that. The save button is behind my head. Let's see. It is there. It's just here. So I have been saving. It's just behind my head. So I click my face and then it says product save. Anyway. Ooh. Would you be interested in a nerdy chocolate table? Message me. Right. Bye everyone. Thanks for watching.